Hello everyone, Cindy here with Monarch Mom DIY. Thank you so much for joining me today on my channel, where I love to bring you the best tips and tools to inspire you to create beautiful home decor on a budget. Today I'm here with 5 budget but high-end looking winter home decor DIYs. So let's get crafting. For today's first project, we're going to make this truck sign using some snowmen. I'm going to repurpose this frame I got at Target, a Dollar Tree word and truck, and we're also going to use some canvas cloth. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and I'm going to do 2 coats around the edge to cover up that ruler. And then I'm also going to go inside to make sure I have the inside of the frame as well. It's okay if we go down onto the back of the sign because we're going to be Mod Podging some scrapbook paper over that spot. Now taking the truck from Dollar Tree, I'm just going to use some wood filler to fill in the 2 holes that were holding the jute twine to make this hang. I really like this stuff. It dries pretty quick, and especially if you're going to paint over it, it's okay that it's a slight different color. So fill in those holes, and then once that's dry, you can just sand it slightly to get off any excess. Next, taking my black chalk paint again, I'm going to paint the wheels on my truck with my black. I'm wanting to use a light blue for the truck, just for a nice winter color. So once my tires are painted, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pool to paint the rest of the truck. Then taking some white, we will paint, I guess that's the hubcaps of the tires on our trucks. Now I'm going to take some matte finish Mod Podge and apply this to the inside of our sign. Just do a nice solid layer, spritz some water on the back of this shiplap gray scrapbook paper, and press it down as well as I can. I don't think I put quite enough water on it. I did get a couple wrinkles, but it was okay because I ended up covering them up with the truck and the snowman anyway. To give a uniform finish on our frame, I'm also going to take that matte finish Mod Podge all the way around the frame, and then once our paper is mostly dry, we will put Mod Podge over it as well. Now I wanted to make some little canvas stuffy snowmen for the back of my truck. So I'm taking a couple of these random pieces of canvas that I have, and I'm going to paint some white chalk paint on this one so that my snowman can be white, at least on the front. And then I just found a Google image. I just said snowman image, and I printed it on 3 different sizes so that I can make 3 different size snowmen. You can see I'm taking the painted canvas, layering it between the printout and regular piece of canvas, and I'm stapling them all together. Then I can keep them together while I cut out around the snowman, and then all my pieces, my 2 pieces of canvas should be pretty much the same size and shape. So we'll do that for all 3 of our snowmen, and then here's our pieces that we have. This is the white painted one, and that's the plain that will be on the back of our snowman. I'm using my Magnolia chalk markers here, and I'm just right now painting in the black hat. Then I'm going to take that same marker and I'm going to give my truck a little bit of a whimsical look just by doing kind of some cartoonish type outlining of the truck. Obviously, this step is optional depending on the look that you're going for, but I thought it was just nice to kind of make some of the different pieces of the truck stand out a little bit more. And I did also go ahead and color in completely the rails of the bed of the truck. Next, I also took the white from this chalk marker set and just did a little bit of highlighting on the tires of our truck, and then also some tracing a little bit on the rails of the bed. Now coming back to our snowman, I'm going to use that same black chalk paint marker to do some outlining on the bodies of the snowmen. I'm also going to add a scarf to one of my snowmen. This happens to be the biggest one, and just kind of drawing that and filling it in with the marker. We'll use this marker as well to add eyes and smiles to our snowmen. Next, using my orange chalk paint and a very tiny paintbrush, I'm just brushing on little carrot noses onto my 3 snowmen. And then we'll also use the white paint marker again, just to add some snow to our snowmen's hats. For a little extra embellishment on your truck, you can add one of these little Hobby Lobby wooden stars. I just painted this one white. Now that our snowmen are dry, we're going to start gluing our 2 pieces together. I started by going around the hat on all 3, and then what we'll do is we will glue a little bit of the way around, add a little bit of stuffing until we get all the way to where we can close up completely each of the snowmen. Once the snowmen are done, we can start putting our sign together. I'm going to use 2 pairs of tumbling tower blocks to raise the truck out a little bit from the back of the sign. This will give us the space we need to fit the snowmen in the back of the truck. So there you can see I'm gluing 1 pair kind of towards the front of the truck and 1 pair of tumbling tower blocks towards the back. And then we will glue those to the back of the sign. Next, starting with our biggest snowman in the middle, we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue towards the bottom and then press him against the inside of the truck until he holds into place. Then we'll add the second snowman and do the same thing, and then add the third snowman. I did find that the super cute snowmen were leaning back a little bit, so I did take another tumbling tower block and hot glue it behind each of our snowmen. I didn't glue it to the back of the sign, just to the back of the snowmen to keep that little bit of space. And our finishing touch for this sign is I'm going to take this magnolia stencil that says Warm Winter Wishes, and I'm just going to stencil this up here into the top left corner of the sign as our finishing touch. If you are stopping by my channel for the first time today, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me. I sure hope you'll consider sticking around by hitting that subscribe button. And I hope everyone will tap the bell, set your notifications to all so that YouTube should let you know each time I upload a new video or go live here on my channel. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. For DIY number 2, we're going to use 4 of these white Christmas trees from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use 2 of these plastic bells to create a really pretty Christmas tree bell swag. So the first thing I did, you can see I have 3 bells here. I do end up only using 2, but I did spray paint them first because they were bright shiny gold, just with a gray or a gunmetal. Then I took a foam dome brush and I used mineral chalk paint to go over each one. Now I'm taking elephant chalk paint and I'm doing the same thing with the foam brush, and then I'm kind of going to blend the darker gray into the lighter gray a little bit. So this is what I do, what I like to do to try to get like a galvanized metal type of look. Then taking our trees one at a time here, we're going to fan out the branches but keep it fairly flat. So I'm trying to evenly distribute the branches left to right. I'm going to do this until I get all the way up to that top piece. Then I'm going to take a second one and do exactly the same thing. Now with these 2 trees, I'm going to overlap them pretty much straight on top of each other, maybe staggered a tiny bit. And then I'm going to use zip ties, white zip ties from Dollar Tree to zip tie these 2 trees together. I believe I used 2 zip ties, one here at the top and then one a little bit further in. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing with my 3rd and 4th trees. You can make a decent swag using just 2 trees, but I happen to have 4, so I decided to make it a little more substantial. So now I am zip tying trees 3 and 4 together, and then I'm going to zip tie the 2 pairs of trees together to make our swag. Next, I'm taking some of this thicker jute twine from Walmart, but just feel free to use whatever you have on hand. And I'm tying a long piece to the top of 2 of my bells. And then we're going to be adding these to the top of our swag. So once I had the bells kind of laying how I wanted, one a little higher than the other, I'm taking that jute twine and tying it now around what would be the top of the trunk, I guess, but it's now the top of our swag. Then I'm taking this black and white buffalo check ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm taking 2 long pieces. I'm just tying a knot around that tree trunk, and then I'm kind of twisting and pulling the ribbon so it just kind of cascades down. And I'm going to do this with 2 long pieces of ribbon, so I have 4 little curly cues hanging down. Feel free to modify this for your taste. If you want to add a bow to the top, you most definitely can. Then my last step is I'm taking some jute twine, hot gluing it here, and I'm just going to wrap it to cover up that metal and that like white kind of thread that they have going along the entire trunk of this tree. And here's our finished silver bell swag using the white trees. I did also add a little loop of twine at the top there so I can hang this. If you enjoy budget home decor videos like this, please consider giving this video a thumbs up, as that lets YouTube know people are enjoying my content and it will help my channel to grow. For DIY number 3, we're going to be making some neutral snowflake wooden tags using 2 tags from Magnolia as well as this plaid stencil, some wooden snowflakes from Dollar Tree, as well as some greenery and ribbon. Now I'm using Magnolia wooden tags. You obviously can use whatever size and type of tag that you'd like, but for this project I'm painting one of them black and one of them white. Then I'm going to take 3 of these larger snowflakes from Dollar Tree. These were kind of hanging 3 or 4 in a row, kind of as a garland, and I'm just painting those white as well. Next, I'm going to use my plaid stencil here from Magnolia, and on my white stencil, I'm going to line this up, and then I'm going to use our black chalk paste to transfer this plaid design to the front of this tag. Next, we'll take those 3 snowflakes that we painted and we'll hot glue those to the front of our black tag. Next, we'll kind of stagger the tags a little bit, showing as much or as little of the plaid or bottom tag as you'd like. I do try to have the holes lined up so that these will be easy to hang. And we're just going to hot glue these together. And then I'm just going to do a messy bow at the top here. I've got more of that black and white buffalo check ribbon from Dollar Tree. I have a thinner burlap and then another smaller black and white check. So I'm just cutting 2 pieces the same length, dovetailing the ends and crisscrossing them over each other. Then we'll take a piece of jute twine and tie all of these together in the middle to make our messy bow. Here I just wanted that burlap one a little bit shorter so that it was a little more layered with the ribbon below it and the ribbon on top of it. Next, folding a piece of jute twine in half and putting the loop through, and then putting the other ends through the loop to pull it tight. And then we'll tie a knot also to make an easy hanger for our wooden tags. Then we'll hot glue our messy bow right over that jute twine so that we can kind of cover it up a little bit, but also make this sign even cuter. I am going to then add a little bit of greenery. You can use whatever greenery you'd like. This is just from a eucalyptus garland from Hobby Lobby. The nice thing about the bow is it covers up all the little stems and where you've glued them down. The last step is I'm just going to add a little black button to the center of our bow, and this project will be finished. And there you go. Super cute, neutral. Leave it up all winter or make it other colors that fit your decor and desire. For a complete list of all of the supplies I've used in today's projects, hit the down arrow to open up the description box below the title of this video. There you will find a list for each project. You will also find links to my Amazon storefront and my Magnolia Design Co. website. My inspiration for DIY number 4 were these wooden ice skates that I found at Dollar Tree. I'm also going to use one of their 11 by 14 canvas boards, a wood frame from a canvas, and a piece of scrapbook paper. So again, this is a very hefty wooden frame that was inside a wrapped canvas. You can use whatever type of frame you would like. And I'm just giving this entire thing on the front, the inside, and the outside a coat of my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Next, here is the 11 by 14 canvas panel from Dollar Tree. I decided to flip it over, and I'm going to Mod Podge my scrapbook paper on the back side of it. It's just a little bit smoother, and I thought it would stick to the paper a little bit better. So I'm putting a layer of matte finish Mod Podge here on the back of our canvas panel, spritzing some water on my scrapbook paper, and lining that up, smoothing out any wrinkles to get it to fully adhere to the panel. Now it's okay that I have those spaces on the sides and that little space at the top there because our frame will cover that up. Now I thought this was a great deal. You get 2 of these ice skates tied together for $1.25. So I'm taking again my white chalk paint and I'm going to paint the entire surface of these ice skates with white. Then I'll come back in and use gray on the blades and also the snowflakes. Once our Mod Podged scrapbook paper was dry, I'm taking my hot glue gun and I'm going all the way around the outside of this canvas panel twice, and then we're going to glue that wooden frame down to the front of this canvas panel. Once I had tied the ice skates back onto that jute twine that they came on, I'm going to hot glue them onto the back of our sign here, a little bit off-centered of each other, super cute, and then I'll also glue down a little spot of the jute twine so that it lays onto the back of the sign as well. Next, I found this wooden Let It Snow piece in my stash. I'm just painting it with that same gray, and we're going to glue this down on the bottom right-hand corner of our sign as well. Then to make a simple bow for the top right corner, I'm taking a loop of the black and white ribbon from Dollar Tree, gluing that together. Then I'm taking a piece of that skinnier burlap type ribbon, and I'm going to glue this on top of the black and white, kind of in the middle. What I'm trying to do is just kind of layering it together, and then we'll tie it in the center with a piece of jute twine to make our simple bow. Once I figured out where I wanted the bow, just put a little dot of hot glue and press that down. And then once we have the bow laying how we'd like, I'm just going to add a little button to the center of our bow as a finishing touch. If you are not already following my Monarch Mom DIY Facebook page, I would love it if you would head over there, like and follow that page. I do go live there with projects 3 times a week, doing projects other than what I'm showing here on YouTube. For our final project, I'm going to be making this all is calm round sign. I'm using a wooden round tray from Hobby Lobby, but you could also do this on a Dollar Tree pizza pan. And I've been collecting these white tree and reindeer ornaments. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, but this ended up being the project. So like I said, this is a round wood tray from Hobby Lobby. It comes in a set of 3 of different sizes. And I'm going to give this 2 good coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color Night Sky. I wanted something dark but not black this time, although you could do black, you could do ocean blue, you could do a darker navy blue. And I just like this color also for a neutral but not too neutral winter decor. Now these trees, I'm not going to lie, were a little tricky to try to hot glue them flat down onto the tray, but you just keep putting some hot glue, maybe dropping it down between the branches until you get them to stick on your tray. Then I did also glue down the reindeer. Now the rest of this project is pretty much you just use what you have as far as greenery. First, I did take that white chalk paint marker again, and I'm just adding white dots just for the effect of snow. And I really like this. It really adds a lot. And I am completely out of my small wood snowflakes. Now these are the garland ties from Dollar Tree. They're not my favorite, but I took 2 of them and crisscrossed them and tied them with a little jute twine. I'm just using this as the base down at the bottom of my sign. So once I had those hot glued into place, then I started taking random little pieces that I just can't seem to throw away because I never know when I'll need them, of all these different greeneries that I have, and just started layering them, sticking them in here and there. And I love how it looked with the different shapes, the different colors, the different textures of this greenery. So just play around with it. And if you don't like where you end up putting something, you can just pull it out. So just putting a little hot glue on each piece and layering them in and around each other. For a final touch down here by the greenery, I did glue on a few of these mini pine cones. I believe I got these from Hobby Lobby last year. Other things you could use would be like the silvery or white foam glittery balls that you can get at Dollar Tree, jingle bells, just lots of different things you can do. Now for this bow, I am folding it back and forth until I get 3 loops on either side, and then when we tie it in the middle, we will have 6 loops. Next time I maybe would do 8, so 4 on each side, but I just keep layering it back and forth, making sure to leave a tail at the beginning and then one at the end. Here I'm cutting it. And then, like I said, we'll tie it in the center with our jute twine, and then you just fluff it out. As long as you use wired ribbon, you can shape this however you'd like, even if it takes you a little while to get the look that you're going for. Then you'll also want to fold in half your 2 tails and dovetail those a little bit with your scissors. I did find that mine were a little long, so I will cut them a little bit shorter even still. Then just adding a little bit of hot glue, glue that down on the rim of your sign where you want it. Now I did have this wooden tag that I painted white, and rather than use a stencil, I decided just to use a Sharpie marker and my cursive I learned in 4th grade and just write "all is calm, all is bright." Usually I'll just do a light writing of the words, and then I'll go over them again to make them darker and bolder. Once we have the words written out, we'll go ahead and glue this to our sign as our finishing touch. Thanks again so much for joining me today. Please let me know in the comments which of these projects was your favorite, and we'll see you next time. Take care.